How much would you need to be happy? Take a listen.
Probably about like $35,000 a year.
Looking at today's economy, I would say probably 75 would be a good number for me.
500,000.
Anything over $100,000 because that would allow me to support a family.
I'd say about 50,000. As long as I'm doing what I love to do, it's not really a number I could put to it. $100 million would be great. Unlimited.
Unlimited, or just do what you love. That's the best answer. So how much is enough to set aside for retirement? $1 million? Lots of people think so, but what if that's not enough? And do you need even more heading into those golden years? Sharon Epperson has the story.
For Ralph and Karen Jones, making the most out of their money meant making a big move.
I didn't think that we could maintain the lifestyle that we wanted if we stayed in New York after retiring. And coming down here was just amazing to see the difference in what your money would buy, how much you could get for your money.
Concerned that even $1 million nest egg wasn't going to go far in suburban New York, the Joneses relocated to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They bought a new house and now pay a fraction of the property taxes they once did, freeing up funds to vacation frequently and make big-ticket purchases when they want. The Joneses aren't your typical retirees. U.S. Census Bureau data shows less than 8% of the U.S. population has $1 million. Yet many financial advisors warn even a 7-figure sum may not be enough to retire.
If they want to retire with an income and be financially independent, not dependent on anybody else, and be able to have an income of $40,000, then it's likely that they're going to need $1 million to retire.
Living comfortably on $40,000 a year in retirement, requiring $1 million nest egg, will depend on your expenses, investment returns, health care costs, and this figure does not factor in other benefits, such as pensions and Social Security, which can greatly boost your retirement income. Many retirees make it work with less. Census Bureau data shows the median household income for those 65 and older is $34,000. But that's down from $66,000 for those 55 to 64 years old. In order to preserve that pre-retirement standard of living, financial experts say you may need more than $1 million.
$1 million, it could be enough, it might not be enough. It really depends upon sort of what you anticipate your retirement to be and what you were earning before retirement.
That's the $1 million question. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Sharon Epperson.
So how much of a nest egg do you really need to retire? Let's get some answers from Tim Moore. He's Director of Personal Financial at BAM Alliance. So, Tim, let me just pose this to you. Is $1 million enough? How much is enough?
Susie, the answer, of course, is that $1 million absolutely can be enough. Believe it or not, I have clients with half that much who have a very solid standard of living, even in retirement, because they also have Social Security and pensions, and obviously these are not particularly big spenders. I loved Sharon's number. She said take 4%, multiply that $1 million or whatever your retirement nest egg is by 0.04, and that gives you just a starting point for how much income you could expect to derive from that. If that falls short when added to your Social Security and any pensions of your actual retirement income needs, then you've got some work to do.
Let's talk a little bit about regional differences. Obviously, there are major differences in expenses in different parts of the country. How do you adjust for that, Tim?
Well, I'll tell you, Tyler, what the best scenario is that when someone is saving in a relatively high cost of living area and then they move, as the Joneses did in Sharon's story, to a lower cost of living area. Love the Carolinas myself. In fact, moving to Charleston, South Carolina this weekend, so I'm getting a little ahead of the curve. But I do think that is one of the most powerful and positively impactful ways that someone can take a retirement situation that may look quite bleak and improve it drastically. The main reason for that is because they can sell the house in a higher cost of living area, buy a much less expensive house that could be just as nice or even nicer, and pocket the difference, adding it to their retirement funds.
All right, so let's say somebody came to you, they're in their, let's say, late 50s. They really haven't done much. They're just beginning to think about all of this. What are the 1 or 2 things that you suggest they do right off from the bat? And should they think about moving to a less expensive city? I mean, is that just like one of those things you got to do?
Susie's describing me here, Tim, by the way.
Tyler, I hope not.
Tyler has it all figured out.
Yeah. So I think, Susie, one of the things at that stage of the game, especially in the mid-50s, we're really talking about crunch time for retirement savings. Those folks are typically getting to that stage in life where the biggest expenses that they had, like putting their children through college and high school, are gone, and now they also are at their peak income earning years. So one of the first things you need to do is max out that 401k, that Roth IRA every single year to the greatest ability you have, and that is what's going to give you that boost, hopefully, over the course of the next 10 to 15 years that positions you in good stead for retirement.
Are there exercises, websites, I don't mean physical exercises, but financial exercises, websites, things that will tell me what the odds are that I might outlive my money? Because that's, I think, the biggest fear that a lot of us have.
Sure. Tyler, once you're glimpsing, say, that 3 to 5 years from retirement, I significantly recommend that you do a Monte Carlo analysis. This is something that a number of certified financial planners do, where they run the probability, effectively, of your portfolio surviving over 3,000 different market scenarios that have occurred in the past. This probability we have to put in quotes because, of course, we don't know exactly what the market is going to do in the future, but this type of more intensive retirement analysis goes a little bit beyond that 4% rule, and it will give someone more confidence, or it might tell them, hey, I got some work to do still.
Okay, yeah, we got to keep working. Let me just put it that way. Tim, thank you so much. Lots of really good information. Tim Moore with BAM
Thank you.
Alliance.